Bienvenidos, bienvenidos. Can you say bienvenidos? Obrigado, gracias por venir, each one and all of you. I'm so excited to see all these faces. And how many from North America? Wow. And how many from Europe?
We are at Quinto de Freixo in Portugal. It is absolutely gorgeous.
We're here at the Savory Global Reunion in 2023.
When I come here, I feel like at home. We have the same language, we understand the world pretty much the same. And you know, whoever you would talk to, you are like in a space of trust.
I've been in contact with many of the people in the network and have never actually been able to look anyone directly in the eyes, which has been a really good, wonderful thing. And then, of course, just the connection that you can get from that, and having people from Savory themselves like in the same room is really meaningful, to be able for all the hubs to hear directly from them what is happening in the network.
I have never been to a network reunion of Savory before, but I've met through the last 3 years, I met a lot of people in real life with all their presence and everything. But since then I got so excited to be like, oh, now I get to know even more people out of these little boxes, rectangles from Zoom, and being in a place together with these and getting even more relationships started and others more depth and everything.
Because we've been separated for so long as a network, it's been good for a lot of people to re-establish those connections, and for me to make those connections and to look someone in the eye and meet them. And you can't substitute that over an internet chat.
And what I found fantastic about this day, it was like, it's really usual that you go to a network meeting or something, a seminar, and you have these panels, no, like expert panels. But now it's like we all together made a seminar. The panels were built in what we need to hear and talk, and what people from the network have to offer to us. So that is the richness within the network. There wasn't a need to go outside to find expertise or knowledge. Savory Network knows that this is a rich network.
What kind of role do I want to step in within the network? When we think about community building, this can happen on so many different, from the macro to the micro and the my love meso level. What is actually the role that I want to step in for the next 3 years, 5 years, 1 year, but something that gives way more a focus in all the opportunities that are out there. So I feel like being here was a very good start of that.
I feel the networking has been the most profound part for me, is meeting all the people and meeting all the new hub people with their new hubs that are coming up, and meeting some of the old guard and the people that have been at it for quite some time, and listening to their reflections about how things have changed over the years and where the network is comparative to where they started. You know, agriculture is, we usually just focus on the first part of that word, the agri, the environment, but it's agriculture. We have the human element to that too, and this is the fundamental way to make that happen is what we're doing now.
All the farmers in Portugal.
The reason it was no question for me about whether I was going to come here, though, was that Portugal was one of the few places in the world that I just absolutely wanted to travel to and to see it in a holistic management light. And that's because it's an analog for where I'm raising animals in the coastal Mediterranean. Driving in here was an absolute experience, not only because of seeing the landscape so similar to mine being managed, but being managed in systems that were so inspirational to me getting into this, which is
in Spain known as the Dehesa system, here known as the Montado system, but it's an agroforestry system, a silvopastoral system where they're running livestock under an agroforest. And I couldn't believe how it wasn't just, one regenerative rancher doing it, but it is the norm here. In the same way that we grow corn and with the same way that we grow potatoes and conventional methods, the way that they are conventionally doing things here is what was an olive, holm oak, cork oak, carob, and pine nut system. I mean, it's exactly what so many of these regenerative farmers and silvopastoralists aspire to, and I couldn't believe that a whole countryside was operating this way. I don't know how many owners' lands I was looking at, but it went on for miles. I'm very grateful that Savory chose this location for this year to come out and see this so early on. It's a special time to be here and to meet just all the incredible people that are doing this work across the world.
We're in Portugal, which is amazing because I've never been to a European country, so for me this is like a first experience. And I suppose for me it's just really being able to see a new culture and how our core values are all the same, and we're implementing what we really value: regenerative agriculture, holistic management, EOV, and all these different contexts, and we get to learn from each other.
Yeah, it's amazing to walk around with our friends from all over the world within the network and just get to see the people that we only get to see like maybe once a year, or people that we haven't seen in more than that, and geek out in the field and talk about the plants we're seeing and talk about the dynamics that led to what we're seeing. It's just a ton of fun. We're all over the world, we're spread apart, we only talk, every now and then, and we get together and we're all on the same page.
Like, if you can come, because so often in the work we do, we hit with these walls of people that we're trying to convince this is a good idea, or arguing with people why this is a good idea. Here, it's really a space for us to connect with people we're not trying to convince, and we actually can connect on that deeper level and have meaningful conversations and get rejuvenized, re-energized to actually go out into the field again and into our unique context, ready for the next part of our work in the next couple of years, whatever that is for you.
For a lot of people I've talked to have said, man, late April is so hard to get away, and when you're working in agriculture or working, outside in the field, it is difficult to leave, most times of year. So I think it's worth it to kind of make the trek and just spend a week and get away, and I think you take away so much from the experience that anytime it's going to be difficult, but it's incredibly worth it, and these connections are something that you really can only get in these sorts of meetings in person.
So I think I got infinite amounts of value. First of all, because this was my first in-person meeting with 99% of the people here. Physically knowing people is just so much different. And I knew, even over on Zoom, I was aware that all of these people are so wonderful and they have so much to give. And I was so looking forward to finally meet them in person. So this was, I can't even put a value on how much I've gotten out of this.
What is the value for me of being part of a global network like Savory? And for me, the word value is such an interesting word, because often when we use this word in the, let's call it the outside world, right now it's financial value. And then value has so many different layers, like cultural value, spiritual value, community value, a place. There's so many different things. And for me, the Savory network taps into all of these different things.